Man, picture this. You're cruising down a forgotten back road at dusk, the kind where the trees claw at the sky, and your rig's humming like an old friend who's seen some miles but it ain't quitting on ya. Now imagine that beast outlasting the shiny new crossover your neighbor just financed into oblivion, the one that's already pinging error codes after a pothole kiss. That's the dirty secret of the 90s SUVs. They were built like tanks in a world that didn't baby them, and today, in 2025, they still grinning through the rust while these 2025 models chased their first oil change like it's a midlife crisis. Stick around, cause number one's gonna blindside you. It's the one nobody talks about. The shadow legend that's got more lives than a cat on crankcase oil. You won't see it cumin till the end, and trust me, it'll make you rethink that lease on the lot. Hey, if you're here, you're probably like me, nose deep in torque curves since the days when mullets were mandatory at the track. This channel's your pit stop for the raw truth on wheels. The stuff that doesn't come wrapped in press releases or pixelated ads. We're talking grease under the nails, stories from the salt flats, and a few rants about how the industry's forgotten what built to last really means. Hit that sub if you want to ride shotgun on more of these late night confessions, cause we're just getting warmed up. Alright, let's roll back the odometer to the 90s. That wild era when SUVs weren't just mall crawlers, they were the rebels of the road. Gas was cheap, roads were rougher, and Detroit and Tokyo were duking it out to see who could forge iron hearts under the hood. These weren't crossovers on a diet. They were body-on-frame bruisers, simple as a straight six growl, with mechanical souls that laughed at electronics glitches. Fast forward to now, and your average 2025 SUV, it's a gadget on steroids, fancy screens, adaptive everything, but one fried module and you're sidelined for a grand in dealer voodoo. These old warriors, they hit 300K without breaking a sweat, cause they were overbuilt for a world that chewed them up. And the underrated ones, hell, they're the diamonds in the scrapyard coal, cheaper than a tank of premium and twice as tough. Kicking off at number 10, the Isuzu Trooper. Remember when Isuzu was slinging trucks like they were going out of Stowage? Spoiler, they kinda did. Slide into 9, the Nissan Pathfinder R50. Oh man, this 9804 model's the forgotten middle child of Nissan's lineup, overshadowed by the Staris-bro vibes, but cranked at 3.3-liter V6, and it's poetry smooth as moonshine, with independent suspension that danced where others dragged. I had a buddy who wheeled his across the Baja Peninsula on stock rubber, came back with stories and zero drama. Today's Pathfinders, bloated hybrids that whine about battery life. This one's simple joy, coil springs that eat potholes, and a unibody that flexes without folding. History nugget: Nissan borrowed truck guts from the Frontier, making it a stealth off-roader. Underrated cause it don't scream extreme, but it'll whisper you to 400K miles if you change the plugs and pray to the timing chain gods. 8's where it gets gritty. The Mitsubishi Montero Sport, that 9704 underdog from the land of samurai steel, Mitsubishi. Yeah, they built rally monsters. The Pajero won Paris-Dakar 7 times in the 80s and 90s. And this compact clone drank that DNA like sake. Super select for WD. It's like having a cheat code for trail shift on the fly. Lock it down. Conquer. My old man's had one since Y2K. It's nosed through floods that had drowned a Subaru. All on a 3.0-liter V6 that's bulletproof if you skip the head gasket roulette. Stack it against a 2025 Outlander. That thing's a cushy commuter. The Montero's a bar fighter with heart. Off-the-wall insight: Mitsubishi tuned the shocks for Asian monsoons, so it hugs washboard roads like a lover. Bargain at 3 large, and it'll outlive your mortgage. Drop into 7. Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer, the 9101 edition before they went soft. Yeah, the early ones had that rolling coffin rep from Firestone tires, but swapped to Michelin's and it's golden. That 4.0-liter Cologne V6, a workhorse forged in Cologne, Germany, smooth, torquey, and sips 18 mpg unloaded. I rebuilt one in a weekend after it ate a deer. Back on the hunt by Sunday, modern Explorers, turbo V6 South that guzzle premium and cough up turbos at 100K. This one's history. It kicked off the SUV, boom, hauling families to soccer while moonlighting as a plow rig. Surprise sparked those wood grain sides. Aerodynamic genius for the era. Cuttin' wind, noise like a whisper. Grab a Loris 9844 bills. It's the Everman's tank. 6. Jeep Grand Cherokee ZJ 9398. The one that made Jeep cool before they went luxury. That 4.0-liter inline-6, immortal AMC's gift to the world, vibing at highway speeds like it's idling. Full time for WD, with low-range grunt. I once watched one tow a boat through a blizzard that stopped semis, compared to a 2025 Grand Wagoner. That's a $90,000 gadget fest. The ZJ's a $5,000 soulmate. Tail time: Chrysler's merger birthed this. Blend in American muscle with Italian flair. Those early ones had leather that aged like whiskey. Insight: the Dana axles laugh at lockers. Off-road purity without the priceless shock. It's underrated cause purists chase CJs, but this hauls kids and kayaks eternal. Halfway nah, we're revving now. 5. Chevy Blazer K5. The 88.9 for full-size forgotten before Tahoe stole the show. Vortec 350 V8. Throaty as a rock concert pushing 200 horses through a TH350 auto that's tougher than regrets. I drove one from Seattle to Reno on bald tires floated over passes like it owned M2025 Blazers. Crossover fluff. This is truck blood body on frame with leaf springs that flex like forgiveness. History hit. It birthed the SUV party, hauling gear for hunters and housewives alike. Weird wisdom. The removable top. Turned it into a T-top terror for summer sins. Under $4,000 for a runner. It'll eclipse your grandkids' leases. 4. Honda CR-V, first gen 9701. The minivan killer that nobody credits. That B20 beef or banger Honda. Magic reliable as gravity. 126 horses that punch above weight with real-time AWD. My sister's had hers since college. 280K and countin'. Still zippin' errands without a whimper. Pit it against a 2025 CR-V hybrid. Fancier, sure, but glitchier. Those CVTs fry like bacon. This one's pure belt-driven simplicity. No turbos to tantrum. Backstory, Honda spied the RAV4 and said hold my tea, launched the compact SUV revolution. Surprise, the rear wiper arm doubles as a coffee stirrer in a pinch. Cheap as chipset too large. The gateway drug to gearhead bliss. 3. Subaru Forester OG 9802. Before they got turbo happy, that EJ25 flat-4 boxer balance that hugs corners like a secret. With full-time AWD that's viscous voodoo, no buttons, just grip. I slalomed one through Oregon pines. Stuck like glue and sleet that'd spin a Prius. Modern Foresters, eyesight nannies everywhere. This is freedom raw. Legacy, Subaru's Rally Crime Impreza wins begat this daily driver. Offbeat, the roof rails. Bombed bomb-proof for kayaks that'd shear lesser bars. 3 bills gets you in. It'll outrun climate change. 2. Land Rover Discovery Series I-9499. The British Bulldog nobody bets on. That 4.0-liter V8. Rover Stout, with air suspension that levels loads like a boss. I camped the Smokies in one-forded creeks. That'd humble Hummers. 2025 Defenders. Pricey posers. The Discos, a pauper's palace at $6,000. Yarn, Land Rovers, Farm Roots, Met Luxury Dreams County's Kid Brother with Soul Twist. Those aluminum panels. Rust-proof poetry in salt states. Underrated cause, unreliable myths. But feed it oil and it'll conquer continents. And, drumroll, ... Number 1. The gut punch I promised. The Lexus LX 450, 9697, Toyota's Land Cruiser in sheep's clothes. That 4.5-liter inline-6, indestructible 1FZ Fay legend. Born from 70s trucks that ate desserts. Full-time for WD lockers fore and aft. I saw one Summit Denali base without breath and hard. 2025 60. $130,000 Tech Tower. This is $8,000 eternity. Secret, Lexus badged the cruiser to crash the luxury lane. Blend-in silk ride with siege engine. It'll lap 2025 models in the longevity derby. Simple, overbuilt, eternal. Woo, that's the lineup. Folks, the ghosts of garages past that mock our throwaway rides. But here's the kicker. The question that keeps me up wrenchin' at midnight. In a world hellbent on tomorrow's batteries and bits. Why do we keep chassin' faster when forever's rustin' in the backyard? Grab one of these relics, feel the pulse of real motoring, and tell me in the comments what 90s warriors got your heart. Smash like if you're Team Tank. Sub for more midnight miles. Share with your crew before they lease another lemon. Drive safe. Dream dirty catch. Ya on the flip.